Acting is a tough industry. Those of us in normal jobs probably don't appreciate just how tough it is, because we imagine it to be all glitz, glamour, and 24/7 luxury. But the fact is, it comes with a lot of pressure, a lot of criticism, a lot of hard work, and some very long hours, which can result in things becoming too much for actors to handle, making them want to bail. Whether they quit midway through a particular role, or just outright quit acting, a number of stars have abandoned their careers for a variety of reasons. In this video, we'll run you through a few examples. Here are 10 popular actors who bailed halfway through. And before we start, can you guess the movie from these emojis? Stay tuned for the answer at the end of our video, and be sure to keep watching for fun trivia questions and fun facts along the way.
I'm a person, and my name is Anakin.
Jake Lloyd. Jake Lloyd had a very short acting career. Having previously appeared in 1996's Jingle All the Way, his next and final big role came in 1999's Star Wars Episode I: The Phantom Menace, in which he played the young Anakin Skywalker. Lloyd's performance was, of course, almost universally disliked, which can't have been nice for the kid. Apparently, children were mean to him and generally gave him unwanted attention, making lightsaber noises whenever they walked by. Plus, he hated doing all that promo work, giving up to 60 interviews a day and constantly having cameras pointed in his face. He worked on a little-known movie called Madison in 2000, a film that was actually released 5 years later, but he never acted again after that.
Peanut butter and crepes.
Dave Chapelle. This entry involves a TV comedy sketch show rather than a movie, but it's one we simply had to include. Dave Chapelle was the host and lead actor in Chapelle's Show, which ran from 2003 to 2006. However, it all got a little too much for Dave, so he quit acting, telling Oprah, "I felt in a lot of instances I was deliberately being put through stress because when you're a guy who generates money, people have a vested interest in controlling you. I wasn't walking away from the money, I was walking away from the circumstances. I was feeling overwhelmed, and some of it felt like as if this was happening deliberately." However, he's now attempting to return to the entertainment world. Trivia time! True or false? Dave Chapelle was inspired to create the show after watching a documentary about Hugh Hefner that featured clips of 1969's Playboy After Dark. Find out the answer at the end of the video.
He calls for the angel of death.
Omar Sharif. When the late great Omar Sharif agreed to appear in 1999's The 13th Warrior, he had just come out of what was essentially a semi-retirement. However, it would also be the movie that put him back into semi-retirement, and the Egyptian legend pulled no punches regarding why that was the case. Sharif said, "I said to myself, let us stop this nonsense. These meal tickets that we do because it pays well, I thought, unless I find a stupendous film that I love and that makes me want to leave home to do, I will stop. Bad pictures are very humiliating. I was really sick. It is terrifying to have to do the dialogue from bad scripts, to face a director who does not know what he is doing, in a film so bad that it is not even worth exploring." Ouch.
You're going to die.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Although you never actually see his face in the movie, Kevin Peter Hall is quite famous for playing the titular character 1986's Predator. However, Hall wasn't meant to be the man behind the iconic mask. It was actually meant to be someone far more famous than him, none other than Jean-Claude Van Damme. But when Van Damme turned up to the set and realized he would have to spend the whole movie inside a hot and muggy costume, and that nobody would actually see his face during his performance, he left the project completely and didn't go on to appear in the same movie as Arnold Schwarzenegger until 25 years later in The Expendables 2.
It is a Wonka.
Peter Ostrum. You may not recognize the name Peter Ostrum, but you're certain to remember him when we remind you who he is. Ostrum was the child actor who played Charlie Bucket in 1971's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The role of Charlie would be his only acting credit, however, as he quit acting completely after that. Ostrum said, "There wasn't any glitz and glamour on the set. We were young teenagers and we were expected to work as young adults and be professional, so that meant showing up on time, knowing your lines, and there wasn't any messing about. I soon came to the realization that acting was a lot of work." He went on to become a successful veterinarian.
Oodly, 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 noodly, doodly, doodly, doodly.
Harry Shearer. Harry Shearer is the only voice actor on this list, but boy is his voice iconic. He is, after all, the voice behind the likes of Ned Flanders, Mr. Burns, Smithers, Principal Skinner, and Reverend Lovejoy on The Simpsons. Shearer did, however, temporarily bail on the animated show after 26 years of service to it, after the show's core voice cast was forced to take a pay cut from $440,000 an episode to $250,000. That wasn't enough for Shearer. The poor guy, right? 2 months of negotiation and discussion followed, resulting in Shearer returning as normal to his role, but the fact that he was prepared to quit over money after so long was strange, to say the least. Trivia time! Harry Shearer voiced which of these political leaders in an episode of The Golden Girls? Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, or Mikhail Gorbachev? You'll have to wait until the end to find out the answer.
To be holiday cheermeister.
Taylor Momsen. Taylor Momsen is a former actress and model whose acting credits include movies like 2000's How the Grinch Stole Christmas and 2007's Underdog, as well as TV show Gossip Girl, and the latter would be her final role as an actress back in 2012. Momsen wanted to focus on her music career, which sees her as the lead singer of rock band The Pretty Reckless. She told Elle magazine, "I quit acting actually. I quit Gossip Girl and now I tour and am in a band, and that's pretty much all I want to do." Momsen claimed that her acting career barely gave her time to shower, which is pretty gross.
Great. You know what's great? Air travel.
Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase may be something of an entertainment legend, but he also has a history of being a bit of a douchebag, and that has resulted in him having a number of disagreements with people he's worked with. This includes Community creator Dan Harmon. Chase worked on the show between 2009 and 2014, but he never really wanted to be there. At one point during season 3, Chase walked off the set and refused to finish shooting an episode. Harmon subsequently called Chase out, which resulted in Chase leaving a profanity-ridden voicemail on his phone, and Harmon being fired by NBC for playing it during a live recording of his podcast. Chase returned to the show but quit again in season 4 before he was supposed to be finished filming. His character was then killed off, and Chase went on to say, "It's sitcom television," which is basically the lowest form of television.
Can you hear it vibrating?
I can hear it distinctly.
Greta Garbo. Greta Garbo was undoubtedly a show business icon. The late actress appeared in 28 movies and was nominated for Academy Awards on 3 occasions. However, at the age of just 36 in 1941, she retired from acting. The cause? The movie Two-Faced Woman. Garbo played a ski instructor who married one of her clients, which led to a lot of twists. But it was critically panned, with Time magazine saying, "It is almost as shocking as seeing your mother drunk." And the criticism was too much for the actress. Having initially intended to temporarily retire, it would become permanent, and she died in 1991, having never acted again. It's trivia time again. Complete this quote from Two-Faced Woman. "I like older men, they're so blank." We'll reveal all the answers at the end of the video.
You underestimate my power!
Hayden Christensen. We finished this video by going full circle, as we go from Jake Lloyd to Hayden Christensen, another actor who portrayed Anakin Skywalker on the big screen. Christensen opted to quit acting for different reasons to Lloyd, but the fact that both decisions came from having played the same character sure is strange. Christensen said he didn't want to go through his life feeling as though he was riding the Star Wars wave. He also felt as though everything had been handed to him a little too easily, so he bought a farm in 2007 and gave Hollywood up to live the country life. He has since returned to acting, but he only takes smaller roles these days. Thanks for watching our video about 10 popular actors who bailed halfway through. Can you think of any other actors who quit roles or just quit acting altogether? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe to our channel and sign up for notifications so you never miss an upload. And the answer to the trivia questions were true. Dave Chapelle created his show after being influenced by the Hugh Hefner documentary. Harry Shearer voiced George H.W. Bush in The Golden Girls, and the missing word from the Two-Faced Woman was grateful. If you like this video, check out our buddies over at CBR. Their videos cover the entire pop culture spectrum and are just as great as ours.